Hey guys, okay, so if you're a creator and if you've ever struggled with juggling multiple channels and multiple projects, if you're a multi-passionate person, I certainly am, and I've certainly struggled with overthinking about multiple channels and what to do with each. I actually think working out these confusions is like how we move forward in our business and in our creativity a lot of the times. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll kind of just map everything out and try to see what's going on and what direction I should take as I work out how to properly organize all of my multi-passionate interests and my business and my creator channels and all of that. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through a creator mind map, mostly focusing on my YouTube channels, but it kind of touches on my entire multifaceted creator business as I'm trying to continue to work out these threads and create a really aligned business. So if you're in a similar boat, you might find something interesting in this. I encourage you to come along into my crazy, excuse me, my crazy creator brain. As you could see already, it's pretty crazy. So I'm going to be showing you my iPad here and walking you through this document and kind of walking you through my thinking. Okay. So I found myself with 5 active YouTube channels. And the first thing I did is I just listed them all out so I could kind of get a high level view of what's going on. So you can see we got GP Skate, GP2. This middle channel is the newest one, and I've redacted the name because this is a channel where I would just put up the phone and speak whatever was on my heart, which I want to do on this channel. And I think I'm going to get to that point very soon. I almost feel like that YouTube channel was training wheels in order to practice a bolder, more free expression. But I'm too shy to say what the name of the channel is on this channel right now. Then I have GP Picks and I have GP Side Hustle. I need some water. It's like first thing in the morning right now. So let me kind of walk you through what historically has been on each of these channels and then what I started to realize. So GP Skate is my OG YouTube channel. I started this channel when I was a child. And when I was a child, I mostly posted skateboarding, but I would also post other stuff. Like solving Rubik's Cubes and random tutorials irrelevant to skateboarding and skits, and I was just having a lot of fun on there. But eventually it mostly became skateboarding. But even as I was growing up, it wasn't just skateboarding. There was also lifestyle, wellness. I would do routine videos. I would share my philosophies about life, especially within skate setup videos. I would just share my realizations and my journey and what was going on. And I would also do productivity videos like get organized with me. And I remember I made this video about how I would organize my tasks on Post-it notes and stuff. So that's GP Skate, which is my main channel, which my intention is to post this video on that channel. We'll see if I follow through with that. At some point, I felt stuck in the skateboarding niche. So I was actually relying on income from brand deals and AdSense, and I was getting deeper and deeper into that skateboarding niche on the main channel. And then I felt creatively boxed in. And that's what brought me to create George Poulos 2, my first second channel. So motivated by feeling boxed into my main channel, I needed a space to just express myself freely. And this was the first time I ever started thinking about and craving this feeling of creative freedom, of just being able to create whatever I wanted to. And the second channel at the time was a way for me to do that. I would post non-skating videos like vlogs. What's funny is I would post a lot of stuff that I used to post on the skate channel, but I no longer felt I could since I was getting deeper into the skate niche. I would post vlogs, routines, hobbies. It's funny that I thought I couldn't post that on the skate channel. Anyways, I would put that all on George Poulos too. Eventually, I started getting really into spirituality. So it kind of actually became a niche spirituality channel a little bit. So that was GP2. More recently, I've been having a lot of inner growth and realizations in my life on my journey, and I wanted to share those. So I actually recently created another channel where I just like shared that sort of thing, and it actually has been feeling really similar to what I did on GP2 when I was more focused on spirituality. GP Picks. This one has a pretty concise purpose. This is just product review videos, and this is basically my job. So I do product review videos and product brand deal videos on that channel. And then GP Side Hustle is where I share my journey of basically GP picks. Like that's kind of this pretty succinct business. It's like a product review business and freelancing business. And on GP Side Hustle, I share that journey and I teach that journey. So that's kind of in terms of the YouTube channels, I didn't get into Instagram and TikTok on this. I feel like actually the YouTube channels kind of reflect the bigger picture for me, however. So that's kind of the bigger picture for me. And basically what I've been going through for a long time is like this question of why am I separating these channels? And I'll always have this feeling like, man, it would feel so good to just have one, to be able to just fully be me in one place. I'm kind of achieving creative freedom by having all these separate channels. I mean, certainly it's helping. Like, okay, at least the creativity has a lane to come out. But sometimes I'll like have a second channel video idea, and I'm like, man, I feel like this fits on the skate channel, and then I get confused, and my energy starts to be drained by that question. So it's super interesting, and so I get overwhelmed by the overlap, as I wrote here. So, GP Skate and GP2 would have a ton of overlap. I used to do just lifestyle vlogs on GP Skate, and then I moved those over to GP2 if I didn't happen to skateboard in those videos. So that's a very overlapping topic. I talk about mental health in my skate vlogs, which then I compartmentalize to the second channel. So that brought a lot of confusion about which ideas to post on which channel. I even recently noticed overlap between my main channel, my skate channel, and my product review channel, because doing the skate channel, I would get sent a lot of skate products, and it would be super natural and energizing for me to create review videos of those products. But now that I have the dedicated review channel, I noticed that I was taking pieces from the review videos and from the skate product review videos on my main channel and posting them to this review channel. And that kind of made me think like, there's overlap here as well. And then I noticed that even my skate channel has overlap with the new channel that I created. The new channel is where I'm sharing my sort of inner journey and reflecting on it and sharing what I'm learning along this journey of life. And that's basically what I do in my skate setup videos here on this skate channel. So lots of overlap, And a lot of the times the tension would arise. Before I say that, actually, something making this split feeling overwhelming is like I would, have these ideas that could go on any one of these channels, and then I'm not sure where to put it. And it seems like these three separate channels are growing very slowly when I could kind of just hit one of them really hard, if that makes sense. And I'll like build an audience over here, but then they're kind of missing this part of my personal brand. And these people are missing this part of my personal brand. Like, why not just make it a little bit more cohesive? So, a video idea that popped in my head this morning was I've been working on this YouTube studio. Like, this is very rudimentary. I'm very much a beginner at setting up gear in this way, but even this is an example. Like, the fact that I'm recording right onto this camera, screen recording my iPad, no editing required whatsoever. This took a lot of setup in this studio, and I got excited. I was like, oh, I want to make a video sharing that. And then I was like, wait, that could go on the skate channel, because I've done like apartment tours and studio setups, and I've kind of shared my journey of being a YouTuber. That could go on GP2, because that's exactly the sort of content that at some point I cut out of the skate channel so it could only be a skate channel, and then I put it on GP2. But it could also go on GP Side Hustle, because half of the reason I'm setting up this studio is so I could film these product reviews more efficiently. So there's 3 channels that this idea could go on. Like, how do I pick? And I kind of just wrote that out here. And I wrote in this circle here, I weirdly feel like all of my channels are slowly merging into being the same thing. Is there anything besides fear and shame that prevents me from posting everything on GP1? So at this point in my mind map, I started to think, why not collapse all of these videos? I mean, all of these channels into one, like skate vlogs, lifestyle videos, sharing spontaneous insights about creative freedom and spirituality, and sharing new routines that I'm excited about and mindset shifts that I've experienced that are bettering my life, and talk about meditation, spirituality. I think I said that already. And post all my product review videos, all these random products, and talk about my side hustle journey. Like, why not make it one big spaghetti monster and shift from the subscriber model where I'm worrying about what the subscribers want to see, and shift to just a volume model where I'm just sharing everything, and people can, and I can organize it into playlists on my channel, and people can come and, choose their preference. Like, they don't have to watch everything, but people who do want to see the entire picture of what I'm doing can do that. That's kind of what I was thinking. But there was something that felt wrong to me about, let me take a sip of water. There was something that felt weird about the product review videos and the brand deals, because I'm literally doing like over 20 of those per month. And it just seems like a lot to put on this channel. If I were to do one main channel, it would feel like it would kind of dilute something with all those brand deals. And then I started to come to this realization. Okay, so these 3, if you look at this list of my 5 channels, I started to realize the 3 on the left were more of a personal brand, and the 2 on the right were more of my job. Okay, so this realization I had while I was drawing this mind map, but it's a thought that I've had before. So I thought, that kind of feels, there's some clarity there. Like, yeah, the product review channel and those brand deals that I do, that's really paying my bills, and it's I call it a side hustle, but it's really like pretty much my main hustle in this moment in time. I do offer other things, and I'm trying to build out this personal brand. So I'm like, even as I'm speaking now, it's like, yeah, they kind of feel like these separate entities, and the thought of separating those things kind of, it brings me some peace. And then GP Skate, GP2, and the secret channel would all become one thing. And there is a separation between my personal brand and my job. You know how I've kind of been thinking about it is like, let's say I didn't get into this side hustle with the product review videos. Let's say I just picked up a job at a retail, like a retail job. Would I then, maybe I could talk about the fact that I have a retail job under my personal brand, but would I start talking about the intricacies of how to stock shelves and how to greet customers and teaching people how to work in retail under that personal brand? Probably not, right? There feels like there's a separate purpose there. The retail job is to make money. The personal brand is this passion thing. And I think what gets confusing for me is the side hustle that I do, the product review videos that I do, it is a passionate hobby that's making money, and it's fun and I love it. So there's this temptation to merge everything all together because, and I think I actually wrote this well here. Okay, so on the left we have George Poulos' personal brand. On the right, we have George's job, which is the review channel and the side hustle channel. And so I noted here the way where you see I circled hobbies and I drew that arrow to the right. That job is one of my passions, and it happens to be my job that pays bills. But there is this it's like I want to talk about it under my personal brand because it's something that I do. But what I was starting to realize is, maybe I don't need to post all the brand deals under my personal brand. That feels like maybe a little bit much. Like maybe the job can be this separate bubble, and maybe there is peace in that. And then when I looked at the list of all these things that I'm into under my personal brand, skateboarding, hobbies, art and poetry, lifestyle, wellness, philosophy, productivity and routine, spirituality and mindfulness, inner growth and creative freedom. Just seeing that list, it feels good. It feels like me. The thought of having that being in one package on, my YouTube channel, where maybe I talk about what job I do, but I don't have to, I could keep that as its own thing. Like if people want to go deeper, they could go there, and then we'll talk about how do you stock the shelves so that people buy more, and how do you greet customers and all that in that metaphor of working at a retail store. That's kind of the clarity I came to. And then I started asking myself questions. With this new clarity, I wanted to see if I could break my clarity. So the first question I asked was, where would a video overviewing this document live? Because I started to have this this desire to make this video that I'm making now. Also, I want to say, this whole George Poulos brand, like the creative freedom thing, is big. It's become like a big pillar and value of my life. And it's cool because as that's becoming a pillar and value, and it's also something that I offer as a service, I offer creative freedom coaching. It falls in line actually with that mission to open myself to sharing skateboarding, sharing art and poetry, sharing lifestyle, sharing philosophy, practicing what I preach, basically, So that was a cool thought as well. And yeah, it was, part of the confusion was like, oh, if I'm creative freedom, then why not put all the brand deals on this channel too? But again, I described the clarity that I came to. Back to the questions, where would a video overviewing this document live? And I'll just read my answer. I think George Poulos, the main channel personal brand, since it has to do with this high-level creative business alignment, which is beyond the scope of GP Picks. By the way, I was also thinking, oh, maybe I merge the product review channel where I put all the product reviews and the side hustle channel where I talk about the side hustle. Those might merge to conserve some energy a little bit. Then I don't have to get two channels over the monetization threshold. I could just do one. So I started calling them GP picks collectively. I just realized I can write on this too. Let me start a new layer. I could just be like annotating while we're doing this. I should have been doing that. What about the YouTube studio journey video, right? This idea to like show how my first YouTube studio setup is going. This one is tough. My gut says GP1, this main personal brand. It's along the lines of like an apartment tour video, so like a lifestyle or, some project I'm working on that I'm passionate about. If I wanted to specifically teach it for the Amazon people, referring to the side hustle and people doing the same side hustle, then it could go on GP Picks, and of course product first videos would go on GP Picks. Like if the video about the studio was like specifically about the gear and why I like or don't like the gear, that would go on the product channel. But I've already reviewed the individual products involved. I think a tech-focused tutorial would also live on GP Picks. So I kind of actually came to clarity. I was like, oh yeah, this one I think would go on the main channel, and this is feeling good. What about a video of how to draw on the iPad? This is an idea I've had before. Answered with confidence. Main channel, because the idea is charged with art and expression. If it were charged with product recommendations, like, oh, here's the Apple Pencil, or had anything to do with teaching the side hustle, it doesn't. It would go on GP Picks. So I'm feeling this clarity as I'm going through my mind map. Then I said, what about Side Hustle monthly updates, which I do on the Side Hustle channel / Amazon Influencer Program tutorials? Even asking that question, some tension arises. I'm like, oh, why not put that here on the main channel? But before I digress, my answer was, I don't see why these can't also live on GP Picks, right? So that was the idea I was sharing about merging the business channels, the channels that are just my job, into one. Okay, then as I was working on this sheet, I noticed some tension starting to arise. Let's see, what did I write? I started wondering if the studio journey video should go on GP Side Hustle. Then I started wondering, why not then just put all videos on GP1? Is the Amazon Influencer Program not one of my hobbies / passion / interests? That's actually exactly the tension I just resolved as I was describing this all to you, but that came up as I was working on this. And let's see what I wrote as I continued to spiral. I specifically think barging the product reviews / brand deals on my personal brand doesn't feel right. I'm feeling this tension now because in this moment, that work-personal split has disappeared. Why? Investigate. I was giving myself a command. The job bubble / separation seems to bring peace, but I lose it. Yeah, so I remember as I was working on this sheet, I came to that clarity about splitting these things, and then I started to lose it. I started to have that desire to merge everything again. So it was super interesting. Let's see what else I wrote. If my job is under the umbrella of me, why does it need to be treated as separate? I answered myself saying, because it is a distinct project that I'm working on. And I'm just going to, instead of explaining the whole thing again, I'm just going to mention that retail example again. Like, I don't have to get into the intricacies of what I do for my job under my personal brand. It kind of is a different thing. Oh yeah, then I was going in circles again. I was like, so then why not compartmentalize the rest of my projects too? If I'm compartmentalizing that one and have one skate channel, one spirituality channel, one creative freedom channel, one routines and productivity channel. what's been cool is I think, like I mentioned earlier, there actually is a niche for my personal brand, and it's creative freedom. And discovering that has been a painstakingly long process of experimentation and discovering my values. But and here's the whole mind map so you could see. Look at that, it's ridiculous. There it is. Discovering that creative freedom is one of my core values has, you know, it's been a journey to figure that out, and now I see that there is this cohesive thread that links these seemingly very separate topics all together and allows me to be multi-passionate. And in this moment, I do see how that side hustle, it's not something I have to pretend I don't do, but I also don't have to get into the tutorials and post all the brand deals under my personal brand. The fact that I do it definitely falls under the umbrella of the value of creative freedom. But I think there is peace in keeping that bubble separate. I could focus on that, get the money that I need to get by. And that money actually gives me the freedom to continue to pursue building my personal brand, where I think what I'm, continuing to gravitate to is that the main thing that I want to offer, like the main way that I want to turn my personal brand into a business, is to help other people. Oops, I erased. Is to help other people with this creative freedom. So that's the clarity that I'm at now, which is why basically I felt inspired to record this video and post it on this channel, which is my main channel. The biggest challenge for me with this sort of thing, with embracing creative freedom, I know it's my highest value pretty much at this point, but I still have a lot of inner work to do in order to, just the fact that I felt the need to hide this channel name. Like, I'm still scared to post certain things because I'm scared of the judgment and criticism. It triggers me a lot, and it makes me want to go back into the skate niche where I'm comfortable. So I still have a lot of work to do. Even posting this video is going to be a little bit triggering for me, especially depending on what comments come in. But ultimately, I think where I'm headed is merging these things and continuing to practice what I'm preaching and letting go of views and metrics and sharing my journey very honestly on this channel, all facets of it, in order to continue my journey of achieving creative freedom and also enabling me to inspire others who strive to achieve creative freedom. And then these things, I think, it's very much a passion project, but I very much see how it is a little bubble under the variety of my interests, and it's also serving a very, very practical purpose in my life, which is money. And that money is fueling back into my personal brand because it's giving me the freedom to actually dive into it without pressure to make money from it. Because that's another thing I've struggled with historically on my journey is if I need to make money in order to survive from my personal brand, it makes me deviate from my values because I'll go chase the money instead of completely staying true and staying at center. So it's been great to find a side hustle that enables me to do that. I think I totally could have just gotten a job, but of course, I decided to make it more complicated for myself. I do think entrepreneurship is another one of my core things that I actually didn't write here, but I probably should. And I think I'm glad I said that because that's actually the kind of pillar entrepreneurship that's kind of the pillar that ties this video into my personal brand, is entrepreneurship. So it's actually pretty cool. And talking this out has actually given me a lot of clarity. So I hope some piece of this inspired you as opposed to made you more confused about wherever you're at on your own journey. I know I'm not the only person who overthinks about splitting channels and whatnot. The one thing I want to say so far, I think that this channel, and this is something I've been doing on TikTok as well, creating this new channel, it has introduced some confusion and split energy, but I also think, like I think I did say this earlier, it's been like having training wheels. So practicing creating more freely, more boldly in that more anonymous space, I think has, it's getting me in the flow of this more bold, authentic, raw creativity. And now I'm feeling like more confident to open up on my other channels. So it's like that training wheels practice, now that energy and that freedom is like seeping into this channel. So I by no means think it was a mistake, and I have no regrets. The one source of tension it kind of creates is I'm like, oh, like some of these videos are starting to do well, and I wish, if I'm going to end up merging over into one channel, I wish that I had all of them over there. But what you're going to do, we got to just keep moving forward and taking action on this creative journey. So sometimes if taking action means making a new channel just to see and experiment how it goes, I think that's totally fine. All the actions we take on this creator journey are going to lead to greater and greater clarity about where we want to go. And that's much better. Taking action consistently is much better than being stuck in an overthinking spiral where you're not doing anything. So keep pressing publish, keep pushing through that confusion and taking action, and trust that the path will be revealed with consistent action. That's what I'm going to continue doing in 2025 as I continue working on my personal brand here and working on my business side by side. And that's it. That's my creator mind map, episode 1. The next one will come out whenever I naturally do one of these again, because they just kind of pour out of me sometimes when I need to do a lot of thinking. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more of my creative freedom journey, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.